PMI or Project Management Institute is a US-based non-for-profit organization which was established in the 1969, and it's headquartered in Pennsylvania. And across the world, the certification is being widely recognized and wanted for. There are over 500,000 members across 171 countries currently who are PMP certified. Now, PMI is actively engaged in advocacy for the profession, setting professional standards, conducting research, providing access to wealth of information and resources. They have like career surveys. They have chapters across various cities across the globe where you can become members and have opportunities for volunteering in India, in US, in all the geographies. Now, PMI also promotes career and professional development and offers certification, networking, and community involvement. One of the suggestions we always have is that be a member of the PMI and participate in the various events that takes place. That will help you to connect with a lot more project managers in different industries, not only IT, and that gives you a lot of opportunities down the line to know different ways people are working, how they are solving their problems of project management, and you get to know each other. Now, PMP certification is an industry-wide recognized certificate across the globe. Now, project management professional credential is most important industry recognized certificate for project managers, and its credential demonstrates that the professional has the experience, education, and competency to lead and direct project, which means we have to understand this here, because what it says is this is not a course to learn project management. The certification proves that you are already an experienced project manager who has the capability. So it is certifying or endorsing your capability that you are a good project manager as per the global standard. And that's one of the reasons why we will see that there is a need for experience on project management to apply for this certificate course. Now, there are two streams. One is if you have a high school diploma, that is, you don't have a bachelor's degree, and the other is when you have a bachelor's degree. I would assume that we all have bachelor's degree. So bachelor's degree or global equivalent is what you need to have. If you have that, then over the last 3 years, that is 36 months, you need to have 4,500 hours of project management experience to apply for PMP exam. Along with that, you will also need to have 35 contact hours, which is you will get by this by attending this particular PMP course from Edureka. If you are not a bachelor's degree and you are having some diploma, in that case you need to have over the last 5 years 7,500 hours of project management. One of the reasons for having this is because a lot of the project managers comes from non-IT backgrounds like construction and all, who have been there in the construction industry for a very long time, and they may be having diplomas and all. That's how this started. That's why it's still there. Now, the project, the duration must not overlap, which means that a lot of times we work on multiple projects. Let's say, for example, between 1st January to 28th of February, if there is a project where we are working on 2 different projects, we cannot say that for full 2 months we have been working on both the projects. We have to say how many hours we have worked on project A and how many hours we have worked on project B. So there cannot be overlap. It has to be separate. I have got a question. I'll just take it once I complete this slide. Experience in the project during the last 8 years. What it necessarily means is that you must have project management related experience. It is not related to the designation you have. When you will go through the course, you'll understand what all we are talking about. So basically, we are talking about starting from activities which is to be done at the initiation or at the time of planning, execution, monitoring and control, closure. In any of the process areas, if we have worked as on any of the project management related activities, that can be taken as a project management activity. 20% of the applications are picked up on a random audit, and in my experience from 2005, I have only seen one person getting that audit, where they call back to the references that you have given. So when you apply in your form, you need to give the name and the mobile number of the person who you are giving as a reference for your work. Now that person has to verify that yes, what you have written is okay. But that as I said, I have seen only one person in all my trainings that has taken place from 2005. If it happens, you have to make sure that whoever's name you are giving knows what you have written there and can vouch for it. Rupa, your question. I'm not a project manager, though I have masters and real-time experience. Can I apply for PMP certificate? As I said, your designation as a project manager is not what is looked at. If you have been doing work which is related to project management, like if you are managing some people, if you are managing some activities, whether it is at the initial stage where you are creating a project charter or where you are uh, doing some planning like creating the project schedule and all. Now all these activities will be taken as project management activities. Just remember one thing, if you are a programmer, let's say, in a project team, in that particular case, that activity is just a project team activity, then that is not a project management. You need to do some activity of the management level, where you are managing either a team or you are doing some monitoring and control, not just taking information and generating a report, where you are guiding somebody, where you are that is an experience which is required as a project manager. Does that answer your question, Rupa? So if you have any specific questions, you can always send a mail to Edureka and we will try to answer that, giving your specific situations, what activities you have done. So PMP is a computer-based exam conducted in Prometric centers. It's a 4-hour exam which has 200 multiple choice questions. Remember that other than the 4 hours, you will also have a 15-minute initial training, and then there is a survey at the end of it. So that's the worst part. You submit your question, and then you have the survey, and then the screen goes blank, and you can hear your heartbeat, and then you get the answer coming. I mean, your result coming out, which says that whether you are proficient, whether you have passed. Marks are not told to participants or anyone. So there are 200 questions. 25 of them are unmarked because those are the questions that they use for surveys, for testing out new types of questions. But as a candidate, you will never know which are those 25 questions. The marking scheme is basically there is a weighted marking scheme for each question, and internally they have a very efficient and sophisticated system of calculating the marks and the pass percentage. In your result, you will not see the marks or percentages. What you will see is whether you are proficient or not in each of the knowledge areas. There is no negative marking. Now, exam is developed by people like us who are PMPs. Once you become PMPs, you can also contribute in terms of this through the volunteering sessions, and various people like that, once they are selected, they actually help in creating more questions and these certifications. After clearing the exam, you will receive a PMP certificate by mail within 2 months. Examination scores are confidential. Now, one more point here to remember is that the PMP certificate is valid for 3 years. every 3 years you have to renew the certification. What PMI calls it as continuing certification. And for continuing certification, what you need to do is during the 3 years, you need to gather 60 PDUs over a period of 3 years. Now, there are various ways of gathering it, like attending sessions is one. I think one of the questions that came earlier was that what is the how many PDUs or PMI points? And there's no PMI points, it's always called PDUs or professional development units. Now, the basic logic is for every 1 hour of activities, you get 1 PDU. So if somebody is a PMP already and is attending this course, should be able to claim 1 hour of 1 PDU for this. Similarly, like there are various ways of getting it, like if you are attending your chapter events, they provide PDUs. If you are going through certain courses, not necessarily only PMP, but if you are even doing other courses like ITIL or COVID 5 or Lean Six Sigma or any of these courses, that they also will provide the equivalent amount of PDUs. You have to just tell them that you are a PMP, and they will give you the you will get the certificate for the PDUs. Attending conferences and events that are organized, volunteering in the particular events will also give you PDUs. You can also get PDUs by teaching. So suppose in your organization, if you are taking or conducting a project management related class for your team members, you can claim that also as a PDU. I would like to add one more point here with respect to the question that came up whether Edureka is REP. Edureka is currently in the process of getting the REP, but if you look at PMI's policies, when you are claiming the PDUs, you can claim for under 2 different categories. One category is if you have taken training through REPs. The other is if you have taken training through any non-REP. REP means registered education provider of PMI. There is no basically there is no difference as far as a candidate is concerned or as far as a PMP is concerned to get the PDUs. It's only that the 2 categories are different in which you are claiming. Here you will currently you will be claiming under category B, whereas if it is REP, you will be claiming under category A. In REP, the only thing that happens is the course details will also be there in the drop down when you go through that REPs, when you select that REP. Here that will not be there, you have to just type in. The only thing that you need to keep is some document which the organization will provide to say that you have attended that course for that many hours. See, this is a demo class. At this point, I don't think Edureka is providing any PDU, but any session, it does not have to be only that 35 hours course, but any session that you conduct which provides PDUs will be applicable for fulfilling this 35 hours of PDU Ravi. The point here is we always suggest to have this session, because when you go and read the PM book first time, when I started also, more than 3 pages, I would fall asleep. So once you go through the course, you keep remembering the experiences, remembering what we discuss, the fun part of it in the class, and then it keeps you awake and helps you to go and study and understand the concepts properly. Because not necessarily always we do the way that PMI expects us to do project management.